Hi. All right, I have somebody to introduce you guys to. Hold on a minute. Got a kitten, didn't I? Can you hear him purring? Well, I took Breck to the vet, and because he was lame basically, and I was worried it was his ACL again, and so I took him for some X-rays. And see, my vet is the Humane Society, and if you're in the UK or other countries, the Humane Society it's a huge sort of national animal rescue. And they do veterinary services as well, and they're really close to me, so it's the perfect vet for me, apart from the fact they also have the animal adoption centre right next to the vet clinic. So of course, when Brecky is in having his x-rays, I had nothing to do. I just was innocently wandering around the adoption centre. And then this little kitten jumped up. He was in one of the kennel sort of cages at the back, and he jumped up at the bars. He was sticking his little paws through. He's so adorable and just loving all over me. And but he had a hold on him, because what you can do there, if you like an animal but you want to think about it, or you can't pick it up straight away, you can pay $30 or something, and you can hold them for 24 hours. Means no one else can adopt them. And he had a hold on him, so I thought, oh well, it's probably for the best. And I was quite, I didn't put a second hold on him. I walked away. And then Matt, of all people, who's allergic to cats, despite the fact we have a teddy, him being allergic to cats is neither here nor there. But anyway, and then we were that evening. I said, "You'd be so proud of me. I saw this gorgeous kitten, and I didn't adopt it. I didn't tell him there was a hold on it. I just wanted him to think I'd just like willpower and stuff, not adopted it." And he was like, "Oh, you should have." So I was like, wow, all right. And then, so what I thought was, well, I'll go back the next day. And because he had a hold on him, I'm sure the people will have picked him up. But if he's still there, it was meant to be. And I went back the next day, he was still there. Can you imagine? These people just they didn't want him. They didn't pick him up. So I brought him home, and he's adorable. And he doesn't have a name. Well, say hi. Oh, you're so cute. The name that they gave him at the adoption centre was Atari. I think it's some kind of games console. That's what Matt says anyway. Which is, I don't mind that name, but I usually change their name. So if you have any ideas. Anyway, the actual reason that we're here is I have a question to answer. So this question says, "Hi Tabitha, I know it's weird, but I happen to be scared of exercise. I used to love walking before my eating disorder, and even during it definitely used exercise to burn more calories in the past, but now I've somehow become scared of it because I'm scared that exercise will make me hungrier and therefore make it harder to restrict. So basically I avoid even very short walks, and if I have to go outside or take care of the car or I'll move at a stupidly slow pace and for the shortest time possible. What's your advice on this?" All right, so most people have the opposite problem, but that's not to say I haven't come across this before. What you're doing is you're avoiding anything that could lead to increased feelings of hunger. Now, if you think about it, the reason that you're doing that is because you're restricting, aren't you? So you're already experiencing mental hunger, and actually what you can translate these feelings of not wanting to move as little as possible as it's actually a form of mental hunger. Like, you are hungry, you don't want to make yourself hungrier, so therefore you're avoiding doing anything that could make that hungrier. Now, most people's mental hunger works in the opposite direction, especially if you have movement compulsion. Your brain, if you feel hungry, then you want to exercise because A, it distracts you, and B, you tell yourself, if I exercise, I'll be allowed to eat more. And it rarely leads to that, but that's sort of why a lot of us have that strong desire to exercise, and that is actually a form of mental hunger. This is the same thing, you're just having the inverse reaction to it. And our brains are interesting places, and they're problem solvers, and not all of our brains solve the problem in the same way. So your brain is solving this problem of the fact that you're hungry with this idea, oh, well, if I exercise, I'll be hungrier. So therefore, I don't want my hunger to increase to the level that I may not be able to restrict anymore. But all right, so you're writing me this question, but what you're basically admitting is that you're really restricting and you're consciously trying to do things that help you restrict. In this case, the thing that helps you restrict is moving as little as possible because you have the idea in your head it makes you less hungry. It's kind of fucked up, isn't it? Don't you think? You're not in recovery. That's the real problem that we have here. You're still at this point where you're just pissing around with the idea of recovery and running yourself around in circles, but you're still restricting. And so really, all of this is completely beside the point for your situation, because what you need to be doing now is stop fucking around with all this shit. You shouldn't be trying to make yourself less hungry. You should be responding to your hunger, and you should be encouraging your hunger. I know that you're afraid of doing that, but that's sort of the whole point of recovery. And so I've answered your question as it is, but on top of that, what I'm going to tell you is you're not in recovery, and that's what you actually need to be looking at yourself. I feel that you're distracting yourself with questions like this. You're distracting yourself from the fact that you're not actually in recovery, and you're not the only one that does that. Lots of people do that. Time to stop, don't you think? Oh, sorry, I am quite distracted. I have a flipping kitten on my lap. What do you expect? He's freaking adorable. He's just looking at me with his big kitten eyes, and he's purring so much. There is nothing better in the world than baby kittens. Nothing better in the world. Anyway, I'm going to see if I can get him off my lap to come and say goodbye. You're going to get up. He's wedged himself between the chair cushions. Oh, there we go. All right, say goodbye to everyone. He's still purring.